The beauty of Islam, unlike many other worldviews or systems or religions or ideologies, has a lot to offer and tries to preserve many things at once. When you look at any other system, for example, capitalism or socialism or communism or any other ism, there is a concentration on just one objective, capitalism, to gain capital. When it comes to socialism, the distribution of wealth. However, Islam is beautiful in the way that it tries to preserve many things at once and does preserve many things at once. For example, Islam seeks to preserve wealth, our lineage, our state of mind, our deen, community, for example, families. And over again in the Quran, Allah is taking us out of this moment and making us move across time and space, right? We're taken to the past, we're taken to the stories of the prophets, we're taken to the future, where we're standing in front of Allah, or we're in front of heaven and hell, or we're in our grave, or whatever different time and place that we are. Allah is taking us out of this moment to teach us lessons and basically to combat this movement and this idea that right now is the most important thing. My life is the most important thing, right? When we talk about life after death, we usually think about it from the hereafter, right? After we pass away, how am I going to be judged? How am I going to stand in front of God? How am I going to enter into heaven or hell? But I think one thing that Islam really pushes us to think about, again, unlike any other system, is life after your death. Meaning, what is going to happen to your children? What are you preparing for your children's iman, for their wealth, for their family, for their marriage, etc.? And not only does it stop there, right? We have to go beyond that and think generations down the line. We're so concerned about climate change and these other issues, but what about the decline of family? What about people not having enough children to replace themselves? Think about Islam and how it has been preserved over the last 1400 years. There's nothing else, no other culture or ideology or worldview that has been maintained the way that Islam has been maintained. And this is a built-in mechanism of Islam. And so when we start thinking about the different rules and systems that Islam has in place, for example, inheritance, right? We have a whole section of the Quran that talks about inheritance and how that is supposed to be divided and distributed amongst your heirs after you pass away. And when you kind of dive into that a little bit, you'll see the wisdom of how Allah is preserving lineages through the way that these distributions are made, that families are being preserved, that there's a long-term view as to how this wealth is supposed to proceed. For example, the institution of family, how individuals being married and growing up in stable family units or amongst a community leads to better mental health. So when we start to look at all of the rituals and all of the rules and all of the demands that Allah places on us, it's for our own good. It's for the preservation of ourselves, the preservation of our family, the preservation of our minds, the preservation of our lineage. And I think our community, once we kind of understand this long-term vision of what Islam is trying to show us and trying to teach us, I think we'll start to take estate planning a little bit more seriously. I think we will show our kids that career is not everything. Yes, career is good for you, right? But family is better for the generations to come. And I think we need to start teaching our kids the value of being married, the value of establishing families, and the value of implementing Islam in their day-to-day lives so that we can make sure that we pass on this legacy to our children. If you stay till the end, go ahead and like the video, subscribe for future videos. Just random thoughts that I've been having and I thought that I'd share. I know they're a little bit abstract, but I do think that they're good fodder for conversation. So until next time, inshallah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.